Hi parents, my name is Paige Stewart and I am your student's ELA teacher. What I'm going to do in this video is I am just going to kind of explain how my Google Classroom works. I'm going to explain how my self-paced classroom works both with Classroom and with Skyward. And I'm going to show you guys a resource of where you can look to reach out to me. Okay, so let's get started with showing you guys how to find your students' work in Classroom. So this page that I have pulled up here is just one sample of one of my classrooms, my third hour. All of my classrooms look exactly the same, maybe just with different colors. So if your child is in first hour, sixth hour, seventh hour, eighth hour, etc., yours will look similar, maybe just with a different cover picture. This front page here is the classroom stream, and you can see up here we are on stream. And this is basically, it kind of operates the same way as Facebook or Twitter, where the most recent thing that I post goes to the top. So I do not recommend going through here to find anything because it's kind of a mess and there's really nothing I can do to change that. Here is where my class code is and my meet link is. If you ever want to meet like virtually face-to-face, we can always meet here on your child's meet link. When you are looking for your students' classwork, Classwork is definitely the place to go. So that's you just click over here at the top, Classwork, and you will be able to see all of the topics that I've put in here. Right here is the welcome page. This is where your students' journal is. This is where they do bell work and exit tickets. And they know this, but just so you're aware, this is where they need to go to do that. And then here in the daily expectations are a couple of videos that explain what I expect for students to do in terms of working every day for class. So you can check that out if you want to, but we're going over similar information right now. Right here, this topic is new. This is obviously where you went to see the informational video. This is going to be just for you guys. Anytime that I'm going to have any kind of communication with you or videos just for you, I will post them here. This is just one activity that I'm going to have you do with your student. In the future, I'm planning on maybe doing a few more just so we can have better lines of communication between us, and I can make sure that we are both doing our part in making sure that your student is successful. And that's important to me. Communicating is really important to me, and I want to make sure that your voices are heard. So here's where I'll post resources for you as parents. Going from there, we have library resources, and then each week has its own playlist. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up week 4. And mine looks slightly different because I'm on the teacher end, but you will see that they have an intro video, a playlist, and a submission box. The playlist is where they will go to find their work. The introduction video is the lesson or the information they need to know before they start. So let's check out this playlist here. These playlists are basically to-do lists for your student. So each child gets a playlist of their own to work in. As they are working in the playlist, they can kind of go do whatever order they want, however they like to. All that matters is that they complete the tasks. And then when they complete a task, we ask that they check it off their list by just putting a simple check mark there. This is to restate an answer. So these steps here, we ask that they do in order. They have a diagnostic document that they make a copy of. They go through a pear deck presentation, which is essentially my way of giving direct instruction. So it's a slideshow presentation that has my audio of my voice talking to the slides, and it has interactive activities for your students to learn to engage with while they're learning. And then this last one here is a practice worksheet for them to work on. They do all 3 of these before they do their performance assessment. Every playlist will have this performance assessment here. When it says performance assessment, that is the only thing that your child gets a grade on for that playlist. These performance assessments are basically activities, and they're different every week, that show how your student has mastered this skill. It's how they can display what they have learned, and then they are turned in for a grade. They have to get an 85% or higher to move forward, and then there are enrichment activities for students to work on more projects and deeper learning on those skills. Okay. this is what a playlist looks like, and they all look similar, but no two playlists are really ever the same. When a child finishes a performance assessment, they will go and find that week's submission box, and then they will turn in their work from their Google Drive, upload all of the documents that I mentioned, and then turn it in to be graded like here. So that is Classroom. Now let me talk about how this will translate to Skyward. So I'm going to pull up my 3rd hour Skyward gradebook. It's brand new this trimester, so everything's empty. So this is actually my 1st hour. But what you will see in your gradebook is that your student has different assignments for different weeks. Okay, so let me look at this actually the way you would probably see it here. Let's see. Okay, I think this is as good as it gets. Okay, so here, this assignment right here that shows a signed parent letter. This is the letter that you will sign following this video, acknowledging that you watched this video and read through the letter with your student. It's worth 15 points. And then from there, each week's performance assessment that students haven't really turned in yet so far, I have posted. So all students have finished weeks 1 through 3. Week 4 through 11 are now posted in the gradebook. And so what you can do is you can see, okay, my student has finished week 4 or week 5, and now they're on week 6, but they haven't gotten to week 8 yet, for example. The way I would suggest reading Skyward is seeing what your student has turned in and kind of monitoring their progress. So if you notice that they've spent 3 weeks working on week 5 and they haven't gotten a grade, that would be the point in which you should probably be asking your student, hey, are you needing help? Do you need to go see Miss Stewart after school? Do you need to see her before school? Are you working on your assignments when we're doing remote learning days? Those are the conversations you would have by keeping an eye on how quickly your student is progressing through the weekly assignments. So, and you can kind of look through that in Google Classroom as well. Maybe it's a little bit easier to see what they've done in Skyward. I am requiring that students get at least an 85% before they move forward. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's no secret that we are working to learn during a very trying time. And so I'm not going to expect that all students will move at the same pace, because I don't think that all students likely have the same resources. I just don't think it would be fair. What I do think would be fair is that whatever your student learns, they learn it very well. And so I would prefer that students completely master the topic before they move on, to make sure that if nothing else, they are learning what they are working on while they're working on it. So my bar is set at 85%, and they have to get to that point before they are allowed to move on to the next playlist. So that's why I say that this here in Skyward is probably the best way of monitoring your students' work and catching if they're maybe slipping a little bit or not trying as hard. Obviously with Classroom, one way that you could track student work is just by going in and looking at their playlists and saying, okay, you haven't turned in your week 6 work, you haven't checked off the work in your playlist, and so that could be one way of tracking it as well. If you would like to get weekly summaries on your child's Google Classroom, you can come in here and add yourself as a guardian to your student's account. So, and then if you do that as well, whenever I email all guardians, you will get emails there, which I have yet to do. But like I said, this video and future communication is really working on trying to be better about that. So, so add yourself as a guardian if you'd like to get weekly report summaries on your student's work. And then last thing, in your student's journal, the very front page of this digital journal has some information about how you can reach out and contact me. So if you just click right here on the overview of weekly resources, here is my email. I prefer that you guys email me at my USD 308 email. It's easier to correspond with you there. You can reach out to my classroom Instagram. It's at Miss Stewart's Classroom. Every day I have a plan period from 12:03 to 12:48. If you would like to video in, we can always schedule that. And if all else fails and something is urgent, you can call the school and ask to contact me. So that is what I have for you all. I really hope that this has been helpful in understanding what self-paced learning looks like with me, how to monitor your students' work, and how to navigate Google Classroom. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working more with you in the future.